Consumer trust and AI. Welcome back to Techstination. I'm Fred Fishkin. Joining us from IBM is Infrastructure Chief Technology Officer Hillary Hunter. Hi, Hillary.
Hi, Fred. Thanks for having me.
Pleasure to meet you. And what is it that is happening when you pose a question to an AI tool like ChatGPT? Can we trust the response? And how can we ensure AI is being used responsibly? Some really big questions, Hillary. So let's talk about some of the concerns and opportunities.
Yeah, those are all the right questions. AI is changing the way that all of us work, the way that we interact with information, the way we go looking for recommendations on how to spend our free time. At work, it's helping us summarize documents and meetings. It's helping us get faster responses to HR questions. And these days, when you're interacting with someone from a customer service basis as a consumer, if you've bought something and need help with it, it's very likely that you're also interacting with an AI-based system. But we can talk more about the details. But to kind of answer your initial question there, it's absolutely possible to be using AI in a safe and responsible way. And we're working with enterprises across the globe who have those concerns, who want to take care of our consumer information and are implementing responsible solutions.
This seems to be happening very rapidly. Tell us about how companies are turning to AI in their businesses. And for many, I assume it's almost like an economic necessity today.
It is, and I think it's all size of companies. Small businesses are looking at AI as an opportunity to provide more personalized experiences, to operate more efficiently. And the largest and most regulated of enterprises are looking at it as a way to improve their cost basis, to have their supply chain, meaning how goods and services come into their company, be more efficient, to interact with their employees on things like IT and laptop issues through to HR questions more efficiently. And so small companies see this often as a great opportunity for advantage, and large companies see this as an opportunity for being more effective and servicing the needs of their consumers. And so it's really all parts of a company, everything that you could think of: finance, operations, as I mentioned, supply chain, how engineering development is even happening, coding tools to help developers create new technologies and capabilities more quickly and more efficiently and safely. It's really all parts of companies, large to small, are considering how to use AI these days.
What about concerns that consumers, maybe employees, might have, not just about safety, but about the byplay? Is it if there's a mistake here, is it easily fixed if you're not talking to a human being?
Yeah, it's interesting. I think there's a couple of key principles for a business to be looking at and for a consumer to educate yourself about. The first is, what is the data policy? If you're a business that's looking to use AI, make sure that you're working with an AI provider that's transparent about the data that has come into the model and therefore what might come out of the model, to your point. And I think, we like to talk about fact sheets. Think of it as a nutrition label. When you and I buy food in the grocery store, we're expecting that the FDA nutrition label is there and explains to us what the ingredients are and the characteristics of that thing that we're going to be ingesting. With AI, you want to be working with a provider that's equally clear about the data used to create that AI, as they are about how your data is going to be interacting with the model and where your data goes. And lastly, is clear about how you can monitor, or we use the term governance, how you can oversee and ensure that the behavior of that model follows particular behaviors. And so you can set up a system with guardrails that ensure that even the language used is appropriate to how you want it to be communicating, that looks for certain types of malicious content, that really ensures that how the AI is used is constantly checked and ensured to be safe and performing as expected and performing correctly.
I'm wondering, over many, many years, we've all become familiar with the phone systems, the automated responses and things. And there's seemingly always been an option, or there should be, to talk to a human being if you press zero long enough or say, I want to talk to a human. Does there need to be an off ramp here?
It's interesting that you asked that, because one of the companies that we've worked with has a very, very high, strong value in personalization of customer service. And interestingly, they were one of the very early adopters, not just of AI for customer service, but even of generative AI within the last couple of years. And they view this as being consistent to their value of the human touch because they find a lot of humans want very rapid response time, instantaneous response time, and an AI-based system can give them that. So it can actually improve customer satisfaction. But the way they've designed their system is instantaneous off-ramp. You don't have to indicate to the bot that you're upset. You don't have to hold the 0 button, as you said, down for a really long time or repeatedly press it. As soon as you ask for an agent, you get one. And so I think there's really interesting decisions happening on kind of a business by business basis, but it's absolutely still possible to engineer in those off ramps. But yet I think in a lot of cases, we have to acknowledge people are happier with faster response. And in many cases, therefore, they're very happy to engage with an AI-based system if it's effective and helps them get to the outcome that they need.
Tell us about some of the key areas in which AI really is helping us.
Yeah, I think if you think of it in very practical terms, healthcare workers, think about a healthcare worker being able to get a better recommendation based on a comprehensive and holistic view of that patient's history and status and be able to provide better care. Think of a teacher that's able to bring AI into lesson planning and is able to have more compelling and interesting content more quickly for their students and then focus on individualized learning because they've quickly gotten the content together for that classroom. So there are applications all across sort of the real world that our families interact with every day that AI is already enabling and doing so in a safe way.
Tell us about IBM's role in advancing AI responsibly.
Yeah, I work in our infrastructure business unit, and one of the key topics there is helping companies protect and steward the data that they have as it interacts with AI. And so one of the things that we work with is across what we call the hybrid cloud landscape, which means all of the different places that companies have IT. That extends all the way out onto your cell phone today. You have AI-based assistants, and it goes all the way back into the back office with very traditional processing and enterprise systems. And helping companies design AI in a way that meets the data where it's at, that does AI in a safe and secure and trusted environment, whether that's in an on-premises environment where you're very confident in the safety and security standards, or in a secure and trusted environment in a cloud context. But really helping enterprises address AI and the infrastructure needed to deliver it quickly and safely and securely. In an overall concept, though, we're really helping enterprises ensure that they can be confident in the AI models that they're using because we are transparent about the data that we use to create AI that they're going to be interacting with, and that they can, what we call, govern or monitor and ensure the safety of the AI that they're providing through certain products that we do, like our Watson X governance capability. We have long had the position that your data is your data. It will remain your data. If you interact with our AI products, we're not going to use your data to better the AI, for example, and we'll work with you to ensure the security and trustability of the solutions. So we're helping enterprises create affordable and safe and transparent AI capabilities so that they can do things like improve customer satisfaction, as we were talking about before.
Being as familiar as you are with all of this, and I'm sure family and friends ask you this all the time, where do you see this going in 5 or 10 years?
Yeah, I think AI is really becoming a transformative element of all aspects of business. At IBM, we've reached 3.5 billion annual run rate in savings through automation, through data efficiency, and through AI. And so that kind of massive transformation of a business is just going to accelerate how companies can create new products, how we as customers can have increasingly personalized experiences and just be more efficient in our day-to-day activities, in interacting with information, in finding things we want to do with our free time, in getting healthcare, in getting services more quickly delivered. All those kind of things are just going to continue to improve.
And when people say, what about all the jobs? If we talk about efficiency, does that mean fewer jobs?
It's interesting because I think what you see if if you watch, for example, your high schooler do their homework these days, you're most likely watching them interact with an AI-based solution like ChatGPT. they're still doing their homework, but they're actually often able to explore a much richer space of information much more quickly because of how they're using it for research and searching and information. I think we see the same thing in the workplace, that people are moving to higher value and more creative activities. And we're very focused on continuing to create more products and do so at a higher velocity. And so these are all enablers of the things that we want to accomplish as a business and helping our employees work more efficiently.
So for more information, where can we all go for more?
One website I'd recommend is checking out ibm.com/AI-infrastructure.
Terrific. Hillary Hunter, thank you so much for spending time with us.
Thanks so much. Great to talk to you.